Breaking news, Hunter, Ethan's best friend, has now spoken out on camera for the very first time. Hunter, Ethan's best friend, and his girlfriend Emily have given an interview. Hunter's girlfriend Emily says, you see the world in an innocence and that all gets ripped away from you after one phone call. That's just the day that changed it all. Hunter then says, I don't think anyone expects anything like that in their life to happen. Here's the transcript of the interview. Hunter's girlfriend Emily says, we were a big group of friends. Why would you target those four? She then says that she and Xana were inseparable. We were attached at the hip probably the first day that we met. Yeah, we just clicked immediately. We were the same personalities, I feel like. He then continues and says, I love it when people talk about Ethan and Xana as being like the male and female versions of each other. Hunter then interjects and says, oh, it's very much true. They were the same person. Hunter then says it was a normal weekend for us, just hanging out with our friends. The next morning, Emily says Dylan, one of the surviving roommates, called her concerned, asking her and Hunter to come over. Emily says, I joked around with her on the phone. It's something you would never expect. It was November and I had shorts on, slides on, like I wasn't prepared to obviously stay there. I was just going over to check to see what's going on. Hunter then says, I would say as soon as you get there, something's wrong. Hunter was the first person to arrive to the King Road home to discover what happened to their friend. Josie was also on the scene. She lived across the street. Josie said, as soon as I stepped in the house, I was like, oh, something's not right. Like you could feel it almost. Hunter was ahead of me and Emily and immediately pushed us, and Hunter was like, get out, someone call 911. You can then hear Hunter on the 911 phone call telling them that there was an unconscious person protecting the girls from the gruesome details. When asked how he stayed so calm in the moment, he said, it was truly in my heart. I believe God was with me that day and gave me the strength I needed to get through that day. As authorities entered the home, the friends say they were told to sit outside waiting for hours with little information. Emily said, we watched the ambulance come and we watched the ambulance immediately leave. So I think that was the hard part for sure. As you know, Hunter and many others left the area after the crime was committed. Hunter said, we just left to get away. To be safe was our mindset. For a long time, many were accusing Hunter along with other friends of committing the crime. Hunter said, I felt like I was less than a person in that point in my life. To Emily and Hunter, Kohberger was a complete stranger. When asked, does justice lie in a conviction, Emily said, I don't think there's ever going to be justice. Hunter said, yeah, we can have justice for the conviction, but I don't get to hang out with Ethan again. This will all air on Amazon Prime on the new documentary. This documentary is called One Night in Idaho. To stay up to date on this case, make sure you click the playlist below. I'll keep you guys updated. What do you think? Drop in the comments.